Hello, it is my Drwn2IceHky second anniversary. I know, I can't believe I've actually managed to stick with it either. But if we just go through some stuff today that I want to talk about, including the fact that I can't see anything because my hair's in the way, such as my drawings that I've done over the past 2 years, and just some stuff that I want to discuss in terms of how I do my pictures, because I know I did that other video about talking about drawing stuff, but it wasn't that in-depth. It wasn't as in-depth as I wanted to go, because I wanted to leave that sort of thing until now, where I can sort of talk in more detail and more depth about what it is that being a Drwn2IceHky includes. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I think I'll start off by just sort of explaining how I got to this point in my life. I know I've done this a few times on Twitter already, so some people will know, and I've done it a couple of times on Instagram, I think, so I don't think the general audience I'm going to get from this video will already know where I've come from with regards to my hockey drawing. Really, my portraiture started when I was 13. I was drawing a few different actors, and then in school I started asking my friends and other people in my school year if I could draw them, and I found some people I really liked drawing. I've never been that good at drawing girls because my art style is really angular. What I look for when I'm drawing is angles. That's basically what I base my whole like sort of artwork off. And with females, our facial bone structure is so much rounder than a man's that I just really can't draw women very well. I mean, I've given it a go sometimes, and what I have to do is I have to just sort of use the method that I would usually use for drawing a man and sort of soften up all the edges. It's really hard for me though. So yeah, some people used to ask me why I always drew like the boys in the year, but I didn't really know why. It's just like that was, so like the male face is sort of one thing that I just prefer drawing anyway. I don't know, I just see that in a different way to how I see a woman's face. In terms of male faces, I have a bit more intrigue in that area. And then I drew just some different boys in my school year for a while. And then sort of in late 2014 my dad came across some ice cross downhill videos on YouTube, and I got a bit of an interest in that, so I started watching Red Bull's crashed ice races in January 2015, and I started drawing some of the racers who were doing that. And then I came across a YouTube channel belonging to a man called James Bruner, and he was drawing San Jose Sharks players in coloured pencil. And I started thinking more about ice hockey. I think that came more from crashed ice than James Bruner's pictures, but I bought an NHL 2006 game because my most recent games console was a PlayStation 2 that I got after I got a distinction in my singing exam when I was about 7 or 8. But then I started playing NHL on that, and I got really into the Red Wings, so I started looking at their, what was their current team at the time. They did pretty well, to be honest. And I didn't really draw any of them. I started looking to Cardiff because they are like the closest team to where I live and the only Welsh team in the Elite League. So I started drawing Ben Bounds because I thought that the goalie gear was quite interesting. I hadn't drawn goalies before because Red Bull don't broadcast the goalie races, or at least they didn't at the time. I'm not sure if they do now. I'm pretty sure they still don't. But I started drawing Ben Bounds then a lot between February and April 2015. And on the 19th of April I decided, right, I've got a lot of hockey drawings now, so I might as well make this a thing. And I asked my dad, I came up with a few names by myself, and one of them was Drwn2Hockey, and I asked my dad what he thought about the different names. and he said, why don't you make it Drwn2IceHky, because it flows a bit better and it's a bit more specific. Because in the UK, if you mention hockey, it refers to field hockey. I know I've got a tiny little North American audience out there, so hi. And and that's basically how it started. Originally I wanted people from school to know about it, but I'm glad that actually a couple of days after starting my account that I thought, actually no. Because it was at that time that I started going through some pretty bad bullying. I've been bullied since I was like 4, starting school, so like it wasn't anything new, but it was getting worse at that time, and I thought, okay, I don't want these people in this area of my life. So I decided to not tell anyone and to just keep it separate from that. And I still stand by that to this day. I feel better having an escape from school in my Drwn2IceHky accounts on Twitter and Instagram. I think I started my Twitter on the same day as my Instagram, or maybe the day after. But I didn't post anything on it until the day after I started Instagram. And then on the Inferno, I might have gotten that shortly, like maybe a couple of days after, I'm not sure, I'll have to check on that one. And then my YouTube started a couple of months later. And I got 20 followers on Instagram my first night. I've fallen out of touch with Instagram now, but I was really good at it when I was starting off. And the Zambonis followed me, and I'm a big fan of them. They're a rockabilly band that write songs about hockey. So I'm quite a big fan of theirs. They sent me a free CD in the post. I was joking, and they actually did it. So yeah, that was pretty nice of them, because we talked for a bit. I haven't spoken to them in ages, but we did talk for a bit on social media together. Anyway, so going back to that then, over the off-season, I don't think I did many hockey drawings at all. I did a few, but I didn't do hardly any at all until sort of the end of the season, when I started thinking, okay, because I got really worried about going back to school after I was bullied like really badly just before leaving for the summer. And I started getting really, really stressed about going back. So I thought, right, we're gonna go back and we're gonna do some ice hockey drawings like before. And then I drew that picture of Joey Martin that everyone saw. Not everyone, I think about 23 people saw it. And that got me a lot of attention on Twitter, so thank you, Joey, because you really helped me out there. And then I went to a couple of games then, because then the season started, and I talked to the guys at Ice Time TV after one of the games. We tried to sort something out there, but it didn't work out, so yeah, I'm not upset about it, because they still promoted my work throughout that season then, so I was still happy with that. And my work just improved a lot over that season. Sorry, I have flies in my face. And then this summer then, well not this summer, but summer last year then, so I got study leave in May that year, so I got a lot of time off, and I was doing, like the weeks I had less revision to do, I was doing like 2 drawings a week, and then I took a break then over the summer of like a week, because I was on holiday, so I was a bit busy. And then I just got back into the 2 drawings a week thing over the summer. It was hard to sort of regulate that back into the 1 drawing a week then when I was in school. I've said then a lot of times. And then this season now, everything's just blown up. It's so exciting. I've met so many cool people over the past season, and it's just, like, when I was going through that bullying in school, it's kind of hard for me to talk about, even though I'm kind of over it a bit. I feel like I'm over it, but there's just some stuff that still upsets me, but I know I'm going to get better. But like going through that, it did affect me a lot, and it sort of made me think that no one would really like me other than my friends at the time and my family. And I'm so glad that I couldn't have been more wrong. Just like that people want to talk to me and stuff, it's just amazing that somebody like me could have gone from being the biggest loser with everyone except for like maybe 9 people in her school year hating her, and then and then being able to set that aside and do these drawings and everyone just wanting to know me, you know. It's like, it's just so, it's crazy, and I love it. And I'm so glad that that's happened to me now. Like, thank you so much. I met the players in April 2015 at the awards night, 2016 at the awards night, and they were just amazing. They all knew my pictures, which I wasn't expecting. At the time I wasn't thinking very highly of myself, and I didn't think they would actually have noticed the pictures that I was doing. But they did, and they seemed kind of surprised that Drwn2IceHky was a teenage girl. So that was pretty funny. And I've met them a few times now, so they like actually recognise me. And that's pretty cool. I enjoyed that. This season's been really great for me. I've sold a few pictures. I sold pictures I wasn't expecting to sell as well, like at games and stuff. People just wanting to like look through my book and ask if they could buy stuff, which is pretty cool, you know. So yeah, this season's been great, and I can't wait for next year.